but it's actually on the webinar room. Nick, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so everyone, welcome to our very first ever self-hosted webinar. This is a Q&A session because I know a lot of you guys first heard about us from our Right Capital webinar. Was that like the end of, or like mid-December? And there were a ton of questions that we didn't get to answer, so we figured it'd just be best to host this like 30-minute quick little Q&A session where you guys can throw whatever questions you guys have for us about short form video, social media, whatever, in that chat box. In that chat box, you guys are all chatting in right now. And we will do our best to answer as many as we can in this next 30 minutes here. And yeah, let's do some quick intros. You guys were in the Right Capital webinar. You've seen this exact same thing before, so we won't spend too much time on it. But I am Nick. He is Nate. We are both CFPs. I have the still crazy to me title of being the most followed CFP professional on social media. I have about 1.6 million followers across all the major short form video platforms, so TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I am not actually an advisor anymore. I was an advisor before I started making videos, but I transitioned over to a more advertising-based model where I've worked with brands like Fidelity, SoFi, TurboTax, a bunch of different credit unions, a bunch of different banks on social media campaigns, just because I understand the space so well, especially from a financial perspective, especially from like a financial content creation perspective. And yeah, it's super fun helping them expand their reach and get more clients. Nate, you do something a little bit more applicable to everyone in this room, so I'll let you go ahead and explain yourself now.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick. So I am currently an advisor. I own Hoskin Capital, which is an independent RIA out of Denver. And I have built the business 100% on short form video. So I have not paid a dollar for any sort of paid advertising. I haven't purchased a single lead. Instead, I really focused on just building a platform and building an audience of people who are really interested in and trust what I do and the education that I provide them. And the results have just been absolutely incredible. And so this is just going to be a quick review of the second half of 2023 for me when it came to short form video. So we're just going to talk about what do the actual results look like for someone who is doing this and who has made this a really big part of their practice. So first of all, I made 86 videos between July and December of 2023. And those 86 videos turned into about 3,000 people who actually visited my links page, which is the link in bio that you can include in your profile. Of those people, we boil that down to button clicks as well as some newsletter signups as a way of capturing people who aren't quite ready to schedule a meeting yet. And then on the bottom part of the screen, you can see what is actually just a screenshot of my Calendly analytics, which is the app that I use to get meetings scheduled. And this is specifically for my discovery call that I link for people who find me on social media. So we had 92 total meetings scheduled. As you can see, there were 12 of those that ended up getting canceled and 7 rescheduled for one reason or another. And so we ended up at an average of 3.54 meetings per week just from social media. And so I am still maintaining about a 90% close rate from social media because when we have the first conversation, they're like, oh, I already know this guy. I know his mannerisms. I know how he appears when we're having a video call. And I also know that I can trust what he has to say because he has already taught me so much. Now we get to go that next level and actually engage on a financial planner and on a wealth management level. So that's just a quick overview, but now we get to get right into all of the questions that you guys are asking. So please just put it into the chat when you get a moment, anything that comes up. And just to jog your thinking a little bit, these are the content creation steps. So starting at the platforms and going all the way down to compliance, these are the different things that you have to think about when it comes to actually making videos and posting them online. So the short answer is yes, we can absolutely teach you to take a selfie. That's not going to be too challenging. We'll have a workshop on that. It'll take us about an hour or so, but I'm sure we can teach you how to do it start to finish. So the next question is, can you define short form video? Are those YouTube shorts or regular YouTube videos, and how short? Nick, how would you define a short form video?
Yeah, so the definition is changing as platforms are evolving. Like TikTok, they keep expanding the time limits of videos they allow you to be uploaded. But in general, they are typically videos recorded vertically that are 60 seconds or less. Again, like I just said, TikTok, they allow you to upload videos like over 10 minutes now. So the time constraints are starting to be a little bit loosened there, but we still do recommend sticking underneath that 60-second mark because it's a lot more palatable for viewers. Like, it's a lot easier for a viewer to watch a 60-second video than make a big commitment to watch like a 30-minute live stream or even like a 10-minute standard YouTube video. And from what like Nate was saying, he made like 80 something videos in the last 6 months of last year. They're just so much easier to make than a long form piece of content. It's easier to achieve scale with these short form videos.
Absolutely. And when you create a long form YouTube video, so the more traditional YouTube videos that are maybe 6-7 minutes long or even longer, those take so much production overhead and so much time to edit and script. And then only one video goes into the algorithm. You only get to roll the viral dice once. Whereas with short form video, you could make 6 or 7 videos for the same amount of work, and you get to roll the dice every single time. And so I think that's why short form video has been so unbelievably successful for me, is because I just get to keep posting and only some of them will work. I mean, 2 or 3 videos have accounted for more than half of my following, but it took creating all of those videos to actually get to that point. So yeah, I 100% agree with the short form video being less than 60 seconds. That will also allow you to do the most important piece, posting on every single platform. Because right now YouTube Shorts only allows them to be 60 seconds long. So if you make it longer, you either have to trim it or you have to not post on that platform. So that 60 seconds is a great goal. All right.
Yeah, that's an important thing to clarify, is that basically every single major social media platform is understand that viewers, like consumers, they want short form video. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and like LinkedIn even X/Twitter, all of them allow short form videos to be posted. So one piece of content can be posted 6+ different places, which is one of the big like pieces of leverage you get with short form video.
Absolutely. All right. Next question. This one's directed at me. When did you feel like you were starting to gain traction with your TikTok posts when you first started? So when I started on TikTok, I got really, really lucky. And within the first 5 videos I posted, I had multiple videos receive more than 500,000 views. And so I had a really weird window where I actually got an insane amount of engagement up front. And then I had essentially nothing for several months. And so I immediately spiked up to about 50,000 followers. And I stayed there for, 3 or 4 months after I lost that initial piece of momentum. And I think that was because I got a little bit cocky and I was posting videos that were more for me and less for the people that were actually watching it. And so I think that when I recentered a couple of months later, that's where I really, really started to gain traction in terms of getting consistent viewership and consistent followers and seeing those numbers go up. But traction means 2 different things when it comes to social media. The first piece is, can you get someone to watch your video? The second piece is, can you get people to convert? And it was really only in the last 6 months that I finally figured out how to get people to convert very, very often with my videos. And so that included revamping my links page so that when people go to my profile and click on my links page, they actually get to a really good page that tells them what I do and tells them how to get in contact. That big change was the one that actually got me a lot of traction in terms of converting people to being clients. That was huge for me. Next question is, what are the best platforms to post on? Nick, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so we went over this a little bit with that first question, but I would say every single one that you can is the best platform to post on. So the main ones, like I said, are TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and even X/Twitter. And my reasoning behind this is, hey, we're all finance people. We all understand the benefits of diversification. If you can reduce your platform-specific risk by posting across as many platforms as possible and rolling those viral dice, as they put it, as many times as possible with your video going into algorithms on each different platform, why not? Like, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time, but even today, I have like 1.6 million followers across platforms. TikTok is by far and away my largest platform at like 1.1 million, but I post my videos across 4 different platforms. My smallest is Facebook, but even today, my video can get like 10,000-ish views on TikTok, which is still a lot, but compared to my following, it's not a well-performing video by my standards. But on Facebook, it can get like 2 million views. So just do your best to diversify across platforms. You have no idea where your next prospect is going to come from, so post across as many as possible.
Yes, 100% agree. Okay. So is there a specific type of account you are using on Instagram and TikTok? Creator account or IG for business? Same with TikTok. And if there are maybe pros or cons of each. So the thing that I would immediately add on this is the fact that for TikTok specifically, if you have a business account, you are limited on the types of sounds that you can use because some of them have copyright infringement and that sort of thing. And so there are some pretty significant limitations when it comes to business accounts. The other thing that I have found is with a business TikTok account and an Instagram account, they really, really want you to run ads. And so they will actually drought your videos, meaning they won't give you a lot of views. And then they will send you a promotion saying, hey, here's 20% off to run ads on your content. And so that is far less common with a creator account. I personally have creator and personal accounts on all platforms. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I agree. Like Nate was saying, the business accounts, they're more so for like if you're like a bank or like a credit union or like something along those lines that you're like a consumer facing business like that. You want mass adoption, and then TikTok is going to target you and be like, hey, here, work with our in-house creative team or like work with our in-house business team to help you run ads, to help you with content, different things like that. So yeah, just go with the creator. That's what's going to get you the most reach. What's going to get you left alone the most by the platforms, which is what you want, while also giving you the features that you need as a creator. They're all different across platforms, so like link in bios, expanded reach. Like I know LinkedIn, you want to turn on creator mode. Otherwise, your posts won't really be shown to people that you aren't connections with. So if you want to be discovered on LinkedIn, you definitely need a creator account. And just, yeah, creator is the best across platforms.
Absolutely. And that probably goes for all of you in this room right now. Switching your LinkedIn to creator mode might be extremely, extremely valuable for you because it will allow people to follow you, and it will also allow you to have specific topics that you talk about, and it just raises your discoverability enormously without in any way impacting the personal networking and the personal things you still have available on LinkedIn. So I would 100% go for that. That's just an easy thing that you can do, even if you're not making short form video. And the question between business and personal accounts raises what I think is the most important point about social media and about making short form video in general, which is, as Nick says so well, people follow people. They don't follow brands. And so having all of your profiles as you, as your picture, as a tag that is representative of you. I mean, my tag is Nate Hoskin. That's not super creative, but Nick's is Nick Talks Money. And the entire brand is based around us as humans, not the businesses that we run. And the reason for that is because people want to follow you as an individual. The reason your clients work with you is because they trust you. They know the work that you do. They don't have as much of an attachment with your logo and with your brand. And so making sure that they are you as an individual, that's a great, great way to drive some engagement. Anything else to add on there, Nick?
Nope. We should probably start speed through these questions, man. It's already 15 minutes in.
Do you use an app-based teleprompter when recording scripts? And what apps do you use for recording soup to nuts? So we can dig into this a lot. I'll take the first question for teleprompter. We do not use a teleprompter. The reason for that is because it is very, very easy to look like you are reading. And when you are reading, your tone will automatically change to the tone that you use when you read. And so instead, I break my scripts up into little bite-sized chunks, maybe just 1 or 2 sentences that cover a specific topic. I will memorize those few sentences. I will turn towards the camera and I will speak those sentences as if I'm having a FaceTime call or as if I'm doing something like this so that it's super natural.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. And as far as what apps we use, it's very simple. I mean, for the most part, just record on your phone. Like record onto your camera roll is one tip I would give you. Don't record it inside of like the TikTok app, the Instagram app, etc. Just because it's a little bit harder for you to take that footage out of there and port it to the other platforms. So literally all you really need is a phone. As long as it's a newer generation phone, record it to your camera roll. And then an editing software we like to use is CapCut. It's free. It's owned by TikTok, so they have a lot of the same editing features. Yeah, here we go. All those ones on the left are free. You can also move your footage into TikTok or Instagram after the fact and edit it inside of there and then download it. TikTok, I feel like the download button on there kind of disappears every once in a while, so I wouldn't really trust that. But Instagram has a download button near the top of the screen when you're editing that allows you to really easily pull this footage out, download it without any watermarks, and then post it across every platform.
Yeah. And so to give you the list of the software that we use, so we use our phones. Nick has switched to a camera, but I still use my iPhone to film my videos. I have a tiny little microphone. I can show you guys the gear list to do that. And then if you want to edit for free, CapCut is our recommendation. If you want to pay a little bit, Descript, I think, is far and away the best editing software I've ever found. I use it every single day. I'm a huge fan there. And then for organizing our content and coming up with what we actually want to discuss, we use Notion. And so this is actually a template that we will provide to all of you after this. You will get this same template that we use to organize all of our videos. And so we essentially ideate here and we track all of it so that we can write our scripts in there. We film on our phones and then we edit using Descript or CapCut. You download it to your phone, you post it directly to the different platforms. We don't use any sort of scheduling software or anything of that sort. All right. Next question. Is TikTok even compliance approved? So yes, we can dig into compliance a little bit deeper if you guys have specific questions on this. But all of the regulatory bodies, the DOL, FINRA, the SEC, and the state regulators do not have specific bans on different types of platforms. You are allowed to post wherever you would like, as long as the content that you are posting is compliant. That's the most important piece. And so what does it mean for it to be compliant? It's the exact same compliance rules that you are all currently following. It can't be misleading. It has to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. In most cases, you should not be talking about performance and you should not be talking about specific clients, because with both of those, you need to show very, very specific proof as to how you made those calculations or as to how you solicited those testimonials. And so as long as you are doing something that is very educational and is very one-to-many, so you are not giving a specific person advice on how to do something, instead you're educating them on a topic. For example, that can be anything from Roth IRAs to charitable contributions out of required minimum distributions, as depending on who your target audience is. As long as you are talking about a concept and talking about how it works, that is absolutely allowed and it's permitted on all platforms. All right, next one. I love this question because I think that it's a pretty common misconception. Are there qualified prospects currently using TikTok? So a number of my biggest clients are from TikTok specifically. I have a couple that are in the 6 million AUM range, and I have a couple that are in the 10 to 15 million AUA range and who are doing more financial planning because they don't have as much in invested assets. They have far more in properties or businesses and those sorts of things that you can't necessarily manage as a wealth manager. So I have been absolutely blown away by the people that I have found on TikTok. They are anywhere between the ages of 26 and 60 when we're talking about those AUM ranges. So it is just incredible who you can find. Actually, one of the angel investors in my business found me on TikTok. And so the person who actually provided some of the seed capital to get Hosking Capital off the ground, he also found me on TikTok. So the opportunities are just kind of limitless. Anything to add there, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, also, when you think about like the larger creators in the platforms, there are many, many people. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of creators in the platform that are bringing in a lot of money. So if you can get on the radar of any of them, it could be a nice little niche to expand your business into.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, the people who are making content are going to be the people who respect content. And so they will most likely find the people that they trust on those platforms. An accountant that I worked with for years, I found and collaborated with on TikTok. And so it was because I'm a content creator and I had something that he could help me with. So that's a really, really good point. Another add-on to that is, are there qualified prospects using TikTok? And if we want to expand that out, if you have a target audience that's maybe, call it 50 to 65, we're talking about very late accumulation and getting into the retirees space. Are there specific platforms that are going to target those people better? Nick, what do you think? I have my opinions.
Yeah, I mean, one important thing to realize is that the algorithms on each of these platforms are so well advanced, where if you simply speak in your video to the prospect that you like, act like you're speaking to one of your ideal clients directly in one of your videos, the algorithm is going to recognize who you're talking to, and they're going to know who's going to be interested in that, and they're going to do their best to put that in front of that ideal viewer for you, which is going to end up being your ideal prospect. So honestly, like I was saying earlier, you should post across every single platform to give the algorithm as many chances as possible to get your content in front of who actually needs to watch it. But obviously, if you were going to be targeting an older kind of client, maybe LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram even are good places to go. But again, just there's no reason to not post across every single platform unless there's like archiving complications you run across. But Nick, can talk on that further.
Absolutely. And I think that YouTube is the really sneaky one that is used by a far wider age demographic more consistently than any other platform. And so YouTube Shorts and using that to maybe get into some longer form content, which is another conversation entirely, that has had a lot of success for a lot of my advisor colleagues. They have probably seen most of their success on YouTube. It's also where they invested most of their time. So that's what I'll finish that question on, is the fact that where you spend your time is where you will see your results. So you might as well spend your time posting to everything, because then you might get a client from Instagram, you might get a client from YouTube, and one from TikTok. Well, that's 3 clients, whereas you would have only had one if you said YouTube's the best platform. I'm only going to do YouTube. All right. Next question. Do I need to be active on these platforms in other ways to generate views, or can I simply post content? Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really active on any of the platforms other than like Instagram. I post stories every once in a while, and I occasionally respond to comments on other ones. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just at a spot where I just post videos and then just walk away, basically. And I haven't seen any penalties from the platforms for doing that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the platforms, they want people to be on their platform. So if your video gets someone to stay on the platform for longer, like if you have good watch time on your video, they're going to show that video to people. They're not going to care whether you're going to use the other features of the platform. Obviously, if you can go in and respond to comments, though, I know there might be compliance concerns about that. That will help with your engagement. But long story short, no, you can just post and ghost, as the saying goes, and it shouldn't really be an issue.
Absolutely. And I personally think that responding to comments, commenting on other videos and that sort of thing is actually a bit of a trap. And I would recommend avoiding that as much as you can. So I don't see a situation in which you need to be going in and commenting on other people's videos or liking other people's videos to prove to the algorithm that you're actually an engaged user of their platform. And it will also help you avoid entanglement and adoption. These are 2 of the main rules that exist within the SEC structure. Entanglement being when you like or comment on a third-party post, and adoption being if you reshare someone else's content. Either way, you become wrapped up in the content that you are engaging with. And if for whatever reason that content is found to be misleading or non-compliant, because whoever posted it isn't listening to us and they're not including compliance in their thought process when they're posting videos, you can then be included in whatever that penalization might be. And so people think that posting is the huge compliance risk. Actually, commenting and reposting are the main compliance risks that we see on social media every single day. So I don't think you need to engage. Post and ghost. I'd actually never heard that until today. And I'm a big fan of that, especially since we're all super busy. None of us are really going to be those people who are scrolling Instagram trying to drive engagement by liking some random person's content. All right. What KPIs should advisors follow to measure their success? I think that this is super, super important. And we can look back at my facts and stats because this comes directly from my funnel. These are the things that I focus on. And then we'll talk about video by video because Nick is an expert in terms of how you should be optimizing every single video. So when you're thinking about your sales funnel, you should be looking at your top line. Your top line is going to be your views, your follows, your likes, how are people engaging with your content, and then drilling into how many people actually make it to your links page. That links page is going to be where you can sell yourself and where you can sell your services. So it's going to be really important that people are going there and understanding, what does this conversion ratio look like between clicks on the links page and then people actually clicking the contact button. And then as you can see, I have a pretty significant drop off where people will click my button, but they won't necessarily book meetings. And so that's something that I can then look at and say, how can I optimize that? Why are people falling off when they clearly clicked contact me, but they didn't feel comfortable maybe filling out the whole form that I have for them, or there wasn't a piece of availability that felt accessible to them? There are all sorts of things that I can improve in my sales funnel, even at this point. Nick, do you want to talk about the KPIs that you're looking at when you say, okay, why did this video do well and how can I make a video perform?
Yeah, like I just alluded to in the last question, the most important thing that every single social media platform is looking at is watch time. So I know TikTok definitely gives you a watch time percentage. So they tell you, like, did someone watch 50% of your video as they average like 80%, et cetera? How many people finish your video? So what's the completion rate? And these are the most important aspects to look at, because especially on TikTok, they give you a graph of like where people start to drop off. So if you consistently notice that, hey, around like 3 to 5 seconds into a video, there's always this like drop, this like cliff in retention. What's going on here? Like, there may be a section where you could have made a cut a little cleaner. You could have not rambled in your hook a little bit. You could have condensed your information a little bit more, provided value earlier, increased the curiosity that you listed in your hook. Watch time tells you basically everything you need to know, and that will be the driver of views. Likes, they matter obviously, but they don't matter nearly as much as watch time. So just from the plain like video performance perspective, if you can analyze your watch time, see where people are dropping off, that is the main KPI you should look at for the top end of the funnel.
I 100% agree. All right, we're getting down to the last couple of minutes. Let's see if we can crank through these questions. All right, I'm sure consistency is most important, but do you both stick to a schedule of daily posts 3 times a week, etc.? What do we think is going to be the most effective? So when you're starting out, I think burning yourself out is going to be really, really easy. And so making sure that you are starting slow and you're starting in a way that allows you to adjust to all of the different demands of content creation is really important. That's why we recommend doing 2 videos per week and absolutely keeping consistency paramount. Because if you can do 2 videos a week for the entire year, you will see far better results than if you do 7 videos, burn out completely, and try it again the next month. Nick?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, just to answer your question about how much we post, I do typically post once per like weekday, so Monday to Friday. So I get usually around 5 videos out a week. When I saw my most growth, this was during COVID, so lockdown, so I didn't have much else to do. I couldn't really do anything fun. I did post a video a day for like 90 days in a row, and that's where I saw my most growth. But if you do want to do something like that, I would recommend, like Nate was saying, start slow, learn the ropes, don't burn yourself out. And if you just absolutely love this, like if you have way more ideas than you know what to do with, maybe then start to think about ramping up your content production process once it's efficient, once you know how to do things like in 30 minutes rather than like 3 hours per video. You can start increasing your volume and just start getting more and more traffic.
Absolutely. And I think that skipping that learning curve in any way that you can, I mean, whether that's talking to us or talking to other people you know that are content creators, and really getting feedback on your videos and understanding how to do it right in the beginning before you start a massive push like that is essential. Because what I did the same thing. I posted more than a video a day for what must have been, 2-3 months. So maybe that 90 days is pretty similar, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so I had a lot of dud videos. I had a lot of things that didn't work, and my funnel wasn't set up. So I got so much traffic, but it didn't convert into money for my business. And so making sure that you set everything up and do it right in the beginning will make a push like that so much more valuable if you decide that that's the way you want to go. We are at time, so I'm going to speed run these last questions for you guys because you deserve some answers, and then we'll close out and we'll call it a day. Okay. What's the best way to connect with both of us offline with some specific questions? You guys will get an email after this, and it will give you a chance to set up a free strategy call with us if you would like. And you guys also get 20% off of our course and coaching. So if you guys want to dive into this and you want to make it a priority, that's a great way to get 2 dedicated meetings with us where we will teach you exactly how to do this. But if you just want to have a conversation and have some additional questions, you can go to our website or you can click on that email. That'll be the easiest way to get in touch. Do we run ads to drive additional views or post the content and let it ride? Both Nick and I do not run ads of our own. Nick will occasionally create a video for one of his partners and they will run ads to boost that engagement, but neither of us pay for ads to in any way artificially increase the amount of views that we receive. This, for me, has been 100% free. TikTok and Facebook have actually been paying me money. And so producing content has actually made me money instead of cost me money, which has been really, really cool. Can you talk about your setup? What kind of equipment do you use? Let's see if I still have this slide for you guys so that I can just put it up while I answer the next question. There's your info on exactly what we use. This is the microphone that I was talking about. It is the exact same one. And Nick is currently lit up by the Favatech soft boxes. And my tripod is sitting right behind, but you guys obviously can't see that. And then, all right, what are some key learnings about how to keep watch time high? And what are the common themes among your most successful videos? Keeping your watch time high means keeping everything extremely, extremely concise. So always make it really punchy, really impactful. Have what we call rehooks. So talk for 10 seconds and then rehook them with another piece of important information or allude to a piece of information that you're going to talk about in a second so that they stick around and they're constantly being pulled through the video. And then when you finish the video, don't finish the video by saying, I'm Nate Hoskin. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, because the moment you switch over to that, they will scroll and the last 5 seconds of your video will go unwatched. Nick, anything to add there?
Yeah, just zero fluff. Like Nate was saying, zero fluff. Make everything as concise as possible. Try to have the the value to time ratio as high as possible. So the most amount of value packed in the shortest video possible. That is the entire point of short form videos and why they're so successful. There is 0 seconds of wasted time, because if at any point someone gets bored watching your video, all they have to do is scroll and the algorithm is going to put the most engaging video possible in their feeds for them to watch and enjoy.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. All right. The easiest way to get to our website is to scan this QR code. I unfortunately mistyped this. The New Year code ends on Friday, not on Sunday. And so this is going to be a pretty short thing. I know that is a little bit of a rush, but even if you just want to schedule a strategy call, scanning this QR code is going to get you to our website and you'll have a button to set up that meeting with us. Thank you guys so much for coming today. And we look forward to doing this again. Let us know if you'd like to see this once a month, once a week, who knows? We're here and we love answering questions.
Yes, we'll be doing more dedicated webinars on specific topics as well, like diving deeper into compliance, into video scripting, etc., over the coming months. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Awesome, guys. All right, we'll give you 5 seconds to scan this if you guys are grabbing your phones right now, and then we will end it. Thank you guys so much for your time today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. This is super fun.
All right. Bye, everyone.